I'm going to be doing a couple of experiments today with Resincrete, and these are becoming more and more popular, and I can really see why they are a great product. What I'm going to be doing is trying 2 different techniques. Now, I'm doing this live. I haven't practiced this before, and so who knows what's going to happen. I'm going to be using some Resincrete pigment in one of them. I've got a piping bag here, and now I'm going to mix up my Resincrete. And always remember, mix it up. So 30 grams of water or 30 ounces of water to 100 grams of Resincrete. And I don't need to mix up that much to start with. So I'm going to be using 50 grams of Resincrete and 15 grams of water for this one. And I'm going to clean up this mess before I make it any worse. I am so messy. It's all over my shirt and the floor and everywhere. The other thing I've learned, don't forget, is mix it up with a fork. It makes a massive difference. It mixes up twice as quick, and also you get no lumps. So we just need 15 grams of water in this. There we go. Let's give that a mix. And then what I'm going to do before I do anything else is put some of my pigment in, and I'm using the purple. And now I'm going to give that a quick mix in. If you want a marble effect, then you can leave it like that, and it gives a bit of a marble effect. If you don't, then make sure that you mix it in thoroughly. Now, I want it a little bit thicker than that, so actually I'm going to put a little bit more powder in there. So I'm going to change the mix. I think I'm going to put about another 3 grams worth in. Let's have a look how much that does. No, maybe 10 grams, I think, because I want it slightly thicker. So that would give me 60 grams of powder to 15 grams of water, and that has definitely made that thicker. And now I'm going to pour that into my piping bag. There we are. And now I'm going to leave that for 3 minutes before I do anything else with it. So it's had 3 minutes. What I'm going to do now is test it to see if it's got thick enough, and I don't think it has. No, I'm going to give it another 3 or maybe 4 minutes, because how thick it gets and how quickly it really does depend on how warm your room is and quite a lot of other factors. So testing it is going to be important. Once it leaves like a little trail on the top, then I know it's going to be ready, and it's not leaving a trail at the moment. So it's had another 4 minutes and it's definitely thick. Whether it's thick enough or not, I don't know as yet. So what I'm doing is pushing that right the way down now to the bottom of that, twisting that up, and now I'm going to nip off the tip of that there. Yeah, and that's coming out, and it is staying where I want to put it. So what I'm going to do now is do some piping on here. It's almost like using a slip with clay. Now, I don't have very steady hands at all. Look at that. That is piping lovely. But I'm trying my best here. Now, I'm sure you will have steady hands, but I have really, really quite shaky hands. But you get the idea, and if you've got a nice steady hand, unlike me, then you should be able to get a really neat pattern. Just because I have tremors, I'm not going to let it stop me crafting. I'd never be able to ice a cake, would I? Now all I'm doing is going around and putting some dots in. Well, as close to being dots as possible. I think you could get some really pretty patterns doing this, and some great shapes. I'm getting better at the dots as I'm going round. Some of them are more like lines. Clean out those first 2 that I did, because I don't think they're very good, and re-put them in. There we go. And now I'm going to let that cure up before I do the next bit. So I've got my next colour in here, and this is a pinky colour that I'm going to use for that. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time I'm going to try and fill my what were an attempt at petals. I haven't let this go quite as thick because I only need it to stay in this area. Push that around until it's fully in there. Make sure you don't knock around what you've already put in there too much, or move your mould around, because you don't want to lose that seal between the Resincrete and the mould. You want that to stay nice and sealed until you're ready to demold it. And then for the centre, all I'm going to use is a little bit of the black in there as well. Darken that off completely. Oh, that was purple, not black. This is the black. What am I like? I'm going to use a tiny bit of black in there. All I want to do is darken that off slightly, and then pop that in the centre. There we are. And we're ready for the final stage of that one. I'm going to gently move that to one side because now I need to pour this one. So I've got my Resincrete mixed up now for this, and I'm not putting any colour in this one because I want the base of this one to be white. Now I'm going to pop some in and give it a bit of tappy-wappy and a bit of squidgy-widgy. So make sure I got all my bits out and hopefully in everywhere. Fill that one up. And now I'm going to do, with the lid, I'm going to put some yellow in it. Give that a really good mix up. There we go. So I've got a nice yellow in that. And now I'm going to pour that into there and fill that right up. Give it another bit of a squidgy-widgy and then fill that right up. And then before I can do the next stage on these two pieces, I need to wait for that to cure. I'm going to put the finishing stage on this one in a second. So put the finishing touches on this. All I'm going to do is pour some white, so Resincrete without any colour or anything mixed into it over the top of that, until I get it right up to the top, and then let that cure up. Now I'm going to let these cure up for a little bit longer than I normally would. Because they're in silicone moulds, these ones, there's only that surface area there for it to cure and dry out of. I'm going to leave that to cure probably for about 2 hours before I do the next stage on this, which I'm really hoping is going to work. These should be cured enough now to take them out of their moulds. Now, the only one that I'm going to take out first is this part, and I'll show you the rest in a little while. Be really careful when you do this, because don't forget it has been in this mould, so it may not have dried out as much as you hoped it had, and it could still be a little bit fragile. So take it out gently and then you should be fine. There we go. So that's all lovely and cured. I'm not going to do anything with that bit at the moment, or this bit. I do think I've probably moved this around too many times before this final white layer cured up, and that may have dislodged some of that other slip. So I would recommend that you leave it, because I do look like I've got a tiny bit of bleeding there. So I recommend that you don't move it around much when you're doing that technique, but we will see. Oh, actually, let's look at it now. I can't wait. I'm like a 3-year-old at Christmas. Oh yeah, so there we go. But it has come out well. But yes, it has bled under there. So what I might do is, once I've done this one, I might do another one and see if we can get it without the bleeding, and see if I can do it a little bit neater as well. But it has worked, definitely. I've got some more yellow Resincrete mixed up here in a bowl, and what I'm going to do is paint this on the outside of this and then let it cure. And what I'm hoping I can do is some relief work with it. It seems to be painting on really well, and that's because it's absorbing into this Resincrete, because I haven't sealed it or done anything with it other than demold it, as you saw. I'm going to put 2 layers on once this one's dry, because I want to be able to have quite a thick relief on here. And all I used to colour it was the yellow Resincrete colours, and they come out, they do give some really lovely colours. You can imagine doing this on some larger pots. I might make some moulds of some larger pots and then try this out again using those. And it's brushing on really, really well. So I'll let that dry for a few minutes. I'm going to blast it with a hairdryer to get it drier, and then I'm going to give it a second coat. So it's had its first coat, and now I'm quickly going over and giving it all a second coat to give it a bit more thickness. I suppose you could give it 3 coats if you wanted, but I don't want to. I think 2 will be enough. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is let that dry. And I've just discovered, if you've got any brush marks in it, now's the time to quickly, lightly rub over it with your finger, and your finger smooths most of them out as it's drying. And that seems to be working really well on that, to give that a nice smooth finish. It's almost like your fingers are sanding it down. I'm really quite pleased with how that's come out so far. So now I'm going to put that to one side and let that dry, and then continue on with making my second attempt at this. This is cured up now and gone hard. I let it cure overnight. Now, I'm not sure if that was a good thing or that was a bad thing to do. It may have been better to do this while it was still a little damp and softer, but I don't know until I try. Yeah, definitely. That is not going to want to come off. So what we can do is we can add a little bit of water to this and soften it up, which isn't going to hurt it. And all I'm using to carve into this is my clay tools. See, this is Resincrete does, once it's cured, goes very, very hard. This is why it's so much better than plaster of Paris or anything like that. Let's try with a knife. Oh, there we go. And it is starting to soften up a little bit now. It's starting to give a bit of relief work. But this would have worked really, really well, I think, if I'd have done it within about an hour of using it. But we can still do this. But it's a great way of getting two-tone, because obviously we've got two tones there rather than painting it. So what I've done is I've quickly cast another one, because this is too much like hard work doing it like this, and it keeps chipping it off. Even if I put water on here, it still keeps chipping off. So what I'm going to do is let that one cure up, quickly paint some of the yellow over it, and then leave it for about an hour and then see if it will scrape off and give us a relief. And while that's curing, what I can do is show you this second one that I made using the piping bag and making sure that I didn't move it around and didn't break any of the seals on the actual piece. That has come out so much better than the one I moved a few times. There's no seepage under it at all. I also waited for the Resincrete to thicken up a little bit before I poured it on, so it was less likely to try and work its way under it. But I really like that technique. I think it's quite pretty. So I've just covered that one now, which is a little bit different because I've done the leaves in Resincrete with green pigment put in. I'm not sure if I've left this long enough or not, but let's see. Oh yeah, it's scraping off really easily and leaving that white behind, although it is scraping off in, and it has dyed that white a little bit as a pale green. Go down a little bit deeper. It's scraping off really nicely. Oh yeah, I quite like that, and that's a nice little relief pattern. So it definitely works much better than leaving it overnight and letting it go completely hard. And it's giving a really nice relief. I will, once I finish doing all the patterns, then let it dry and then seal it, because I think that's going to make it stand out even more. It really does dry so hard, and I think that's one of its absolute selling points and why I love using Resincrete. Now, regarding the yellow rose, all I'm going to do in this is put some lines in it like this. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, put some nice patterns in it, but I just want to give it a bit of texture by giving this scrape away. But you could put patterns on it, you could do all sorts of things with it, so it's definitely working. These are all lovely and cured now, and I can do the final stage on them, which is to seal them. I'm going to be using the J. Diction Gloss Sealer. I love this stuff. It works so well on Resincrete, any of the other eco resins as well that you want to seal, but it also works brilliantly on paper mache and on decoupage as well, I've found. The best way to put it on for using it with Resincrete is I'm going to pour some in here in a little pot. You don't have to if you don't want to do it like this. You can pour it directly on and use the sponge that comes with it and then sponge it on. By sponging it on, you get no brush strokes at all. It really does give a brilliant gloss finish. I like to do mine 2 coats. Now, if you want to make it completely waterproof, if you're making vases and things like that, then leave 24 hours between your 2 coats, because that way it really does absorb into it beautifully and it gives you a great finish and it makes it beautifully and waterproof, which is what we've already tested. So I'll do 1 decent coat on it all the way around, let that dry in and soak in, and then I'll give it another coat. But I'm only going to leave it about an hour before I give it its second coat, because I don't need these to be waterproof. And none of those colours are going to lift or blend or smear anywhere once it's cured. They're going to stay exactly where you want them. Let your Resincrete dry, if you're letting it dry naturally, for about 4 days before you do this, to make sure there's no moisture trapped in there. I don't do that. I haven't got the time to be waiting around for 4 days. So what I do is I stick mine in a curing box, or I stick it somewhere very, very warm and let it dry out like that for a few hours. So you're really going to see the difference once you've got this lovely gloss coating on it. Well, these are all finished. They're lovely and dry, and look how glossy they are. Really does make a massive difference, and it's lovely and smooth with no brush marks in there. There's the little bowl that I did with the relief work, and I don't know if it is called relief work. Who knows? If you know what it's called, then let me know in the comment. And the top that goes on it, I done the top in the lighter colour. I didn't go over it with the paste because I think it really sets it off having it like that. Again, lovely and glossy. Look at that, how glossy that is. And there's the one that I did originally where I left it on too long. Brushing it on has given it a really nice texture. I like that finish a great deal. And again, that's lovely and glossy. Look, it's shining beautifully. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little experiment as much as I've enjoyed doing it. I love it. I like both the effects. I think you could have some real good fun with them. Check out my other Resincrete videos as well. I think you'll love those if you want to get into Resincrete and see how to make money. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.